Hey guys, I am WTFarm Girl. Welcome to the channel. A lot of you guys have been asking about a question and answer or Farm Girl Facts video for the last couple years now. So here it is. Enjoy. Eric bought 87 acres of vacant land way back in 2013. And over the last couple years, it's become the farm that it is now. Previous to our ownership, the farm used to be vacant land that was used as a horse cart racetrack. They grew hay for horses and they did maple syrup in the backwoods, just like we do today. You're actually able to get the land for a really great price. Had we not gotten it for that price, we probably wouldn't have purchased it. Eric was able to fund the purchase of this land through the sale of his previous house, which he bought at a reduced rate and was able to make a lot of money off from selling in a better house market. The animals, including the horses, were all of Eric's idea. And I somehow got stuck taking care of them all. Yeah. At one point we actually had 4 horses. We've since downsized to 2. But I don't even have time for the 2 that we have. This little lady here was Eric's idea. We bought her as a 2-year-old. Unfortunately, she was very tiny and nobody thought she was going to get very big. And she's actually grown to 15.3 hands. They didn't think she'd grow past 13 hands. So now she's my horse. Because you're my baby girl, ain't you? And even though she does need to be broke out still and she does need a lot of work, she has a very good head on her shoulders. Desi's what I call the dog horse because she snuggles just like a dog, big dog. Big 1,000-pound dog. The reason we started hay farming was because there were already hay fields on the property and Eric wanted horses and it seemed like a no-brainer. The first tractor I ever drove was the old Farm LC sitting down by the side of the road. Hooked that up to an old-fashioned sickle bar and the hay rake, the old hay rake we have, and the old baler. And that's what I baled hay on for the first year. All of the equipment, with the exception of our New Holland hay rake, was bought used at an extreme discount. Even the New Holland tractor was damaged when we bought it and Eric went through and repaired it. We've actually managed to get some really great deals on most of our stuff out here. Eric is the equipment man. He's the one that runs through and decides what we should purchase, and he goes out and finds it. We have a total of 6 kids between us, and now we're only down to 3. A lot of people think that Eric stays home and I help him farm. The reality is, he has a full-time job. He works as an auto body painter for a local shop while I stay home and run the farm. In the 6 years that we've been out here, I've managed to trash 3 Carhartt jackets and 2 pairs of very expensive muck boots. Sadly, even though we have 87 acres, our land is landlocked, so we actually have no way to expand our farm. The only way we can expand our operations is to lease out area a little ways away from our property. If there's a crop that I could grow, it would probably be hemp. I find it intriguing. I would love to jump in a combine and combine some corn, soybeans, wheat, all of that. But for profit-wise, I think I'd like to try hemp. Before I was a farmer, I used to work in graphic design. I could code web pages. I worked in marketing, but my area of expertise was photo retouching. I've actually been editing videos for over 10 years, for as long as I can remember, just for fun. And while I didn't have any actual farming experience, it was fairly handy with a screwdriver and some nails. My mom actually grew up on a dairy farm, but my grandparents sold the farm way before I was ever in the picture. My mom actually died of cancer a couple years before I met Eric. So she never got to see the farm. Before the side-by-side, I used to use a sled. And I still have her, despite the fact that she's pretty beat up. Ah, yes. So many good, horrible memories with that one. I used to live in Las Vegas for about 4 years. A while back, I was a former Air Force wife, and I loved every minute of that. Living all across the country gave me a better perspective of why I appreciate Michigan and Michigan weather. I hate the cold, wet, rainy seasons, but I love snow. Ew. Look at this guy. We also grow some fantastic night crawlers out here. Fishing, anybody? When we first moved in onto the property, the original neighbors next door hated everything we did and were completely complaining to the township at every point. One day I had a salesperson drive up the driveway. At that point we hadn't worked on the driveway yet, so it was a mud bog. He got stuck. The neighbors subsequently came out and started screaming at him, telling him to get off the property. That he actually owned the driveway and the sales guy had no business driving on it. It was an interesting story. It was actually Eric's idea, to a certain extent, to start the YouTube channel. He was a major fan of YouTube, and I wasn't having any luck getting publishers to bite on the idea of a farm memoir. Eric's philosophy was, nobody reads anymore, everybody's on YouTube. So just dump the idea of writing a book and just put out some videos. While I didn't agree with his advice entirely, I did think that maybe putting out some videos might be a good way just to see if people actually found farming interesting. The good news is I definitely did give it a shot, and I haven't regretted it since. Making videos has given me great perspective on editing, especially editing my writing. The downside, I now don't have any time to write. That makes me kind of sad. Several years ago, I made the decision that I was going to start writing again. Unfortunately, as a mom, very busy on the farm through all hours of the day, the only time I had to myself was before anybody else got up. That meant having to wake up at 5 a.m. before the rest of the house was awake. Despite not being a morning person, I somehow managed to pull it off, and now to this day, I can't sleep in. My body is hardwired to wake up at 5 a.m. But now instead of writing at 5 a.m., I use that time to make all these awesome videos for you guys. You're welcome. See what I mean about sleds? Yes, I did really feed Eric Raccoon. And yes, he actually secretly enjoyed it, even though he was very mad about it. Just leaving Eric's little dogs a treat for later. Yes, I would try anything once, but one stipulation. I have to be the one to cook it. If I cook it, and if I catch it, I will definitely give it a try, because I'm OCD on how things are cooked. I have a very precise palate on how things should taste. Before Eric, I was actually very much into gourmet cooking. Unfortunately, Eric has a very narrow palate, so we pretty much just eat basic foods. I've actually known since I was 10 years old that I was going to be a writer. Someday. I'm still waiting for that day. But it will come, mind you. I will be a best-selling author, so keep that in the back of your mind. I might not be famous for YouTube, but I will be a famous author one day before I die. Like many authors, I tend to be reclusive and a little more eccentric than most people. That's why you'll see me go in spurts on social media. I tend to like to lay low and just kind of go about my day and my business and just observe everything. I find social media to be kind of a black hole. Like, literally, it just swallows you alive. It goes on forever. And before you know it, you've wasted a whole hour of your day doing nothing. Well, that didn't start very good. Because everybody drives around with a random gun in their car. I love farming because it allows me to be outside on a daily basis, appreciating days like this and the beautiful fall colors. I've also realized that it doesn't matter what the season is, there's always something to appreciate, some beauty that's very unique to just that season. Fall, you can't beat the clear sun, the colors, and the fresh air. So irritated at our mail lady because she always left her mailbox door not quite shut so it would open all the way, that one day I left a little tiny bottle of maple syrup in there, hoping that it might entice her to do a better job of delivering the mail. It didn't work. I still came by and found my mailbox wide open day after day. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your comments and all of your feedback. And I just appreciate you guys for being here every time to watch my videos. And if you find something you especially enjoy, be sure to share it with your friends. I always appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you are not already subscribed, there's the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell. Thank you so much, guys. Love you. Bye.